Hi guys, Dallas here. So today I'm going to give you a quick whip around the WordPress dashboard, which is the area that you're going to be working in most of all when you're working with WordPress. And in this area you're going to be looking at things that have everything to do with your website. So for instance, your products, your pages, your posts, all that kind of stuff is all done in the WordPress dashboard. So let's have a look and see how we get into the WordPress dashboard, and I'll give you a quick whip around of all the different things that you're going to be working with in there. Right, let's go. Okay, so once I have set up your simple store for you, the front end of it is going to look something like this. This picture may be slightly different. For some reason WooCommerce like to change this randomly, but for this installation we got this one over here. And as you can see, we have some demonstration products put into the database. These are not real products, but we'll be working at some point in the future on changing these. For today, what I want to show you is how to get into the dashboard of WordPress, which is where you're going to be working most of the time. Okay, very simple process. All you need to do is you need to go up to the address bar over here and you type in /wp-admin. And this will open up the WordPress login screen. Now, I have my password saved in here, so hopefully it will let me in, and there we go. All right, okay, so this is the dashboard, and this is basically the engine room for WordPress. Everything that we do on our WordPress website gets done through this dashboard. Okay, so on the left-hand side here, you'll notice that we have a whole lot of different links and various things, and this is pretty much what you'll see once I hand over the store to you. Okay, up at the top here we have the WordPress logo. So this is basically just stuff about WordPress, the actual organization. This is about your website. So if you wanted to see your website, you would go and click on visit link over there, or visit the store, and it will take you directly to that. These other ones here, don't really worry too much about them, not that important. What I normally do when I'm working with websites is I will have two different tabs open, one for the front end and one for the back end, so that I don't have to keep changing between the two on one tab. So I'll just hold down my Alt tab, and that is what the front end of the website looks like. Now, my browser has actually cached this, and what I want to do is show you what happens when you're logged into the back end. So I'm going to do a quick reload here. You'll notice now that there's this black bar up at the top. So when you're working in WordPress, if you see that black bar, that means that you're logged in. Okay, nobody else will see that, only you. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. All right, on the left hand side up near the top will be your posts area. For the simple stores concept, I'm not punting the posts, which is basically the blog at this stage. So I'm going to hand over your store to you without the blog being active. It's there and you're welcome to use it, but for the purposes of what we're trying to do with simple stores is basically get you up and running from a shop perspective more than we are from a blog perspective. The blogging is important, but it'll come at a later stage, so we'll get into that as we need to. Media. This tab is basically the library of all the media that you've uploaded to your website. So your logos, any of your product photography, stuff like that will all appear in your media library. You can add new things to the media library by clicking this link over here, and you'll see that you get this option to drop files in or select files from your hard drive. Okay, so that is what that does. Pages. This is the static pages of your website. Now, WooCommerce produces a few of its own pages. One of them is the cart page. We have a checkout page. With Storefront, the theme that we're using, we have a home page, which is what you see over there. Okay. We have an account page that basically lets the person who's doing the purchase log in and see what's going on with their account. We have a privacy policy page, which at this stage is still in draft. And we have a sample page. The sample page can be an About Us page or anything else that you want to put onto the shop. The shop page is where the shop actually is. So these are the general pages that you'll have set up when you're working in WordPress. So that's where you get to them. You can add new pages, you can add as many as you like, or you can take some pages away. I would not advise taking anything away that has a black text after it, because that's kind of a critical page for WooCommerce and for WordPress to work with. So don't mess with these too much. Right, comments we're not going to focus on, because one of the golden rules with WordPress is don't ever leave the comments on, because you will get spammed. So I'm not even going to get too much into this. Here we have WooCommerce, and this is basically the engine room for WooCommerce itself. So everything that you set up in WooCommerce is done using these tabs here. So on the dashboard, once we have stuff actually happening in our store, we will have some reporting information here, items sold, orders, net sales, etc. There'll be some fancy little graphs and what have you. And you'll also have some leaderboards there. So once your store starts making some inroads, that's the kind of thing that you'll be able to analyze if you're that way inclined. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into the detail of this now. I will produce videos for every single one of these little attributes of WooCommerce, but for now we're just going through what the WordPress dashboard does. Now within WooCommerce, you will obviously have to have products, and when you click on this little link over here, it'll show you all the different products that you have in your store, and you can then edit those products either by clicking directly into them like this, and you'll see that you've got a whole lot of stuff that you need to deal with, or if you just want to make a quick change, you have a thing here called Quick Edit, which lets you go in and do some quick changes. And if you wanted to switch on or off reviews, you can toggle that on like that. Click on Update, and it is done, updated. So that's what the products area is for. Analytics is more of the geekery that you'll get with any kind of software. And this is pretty much just to show you your sales and revenues and all that sort of thing. Obviously all of this is 0 because I haven't configured this as a working store. This is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, down here we have marketing, and this is really just an external kind of almost like a spam page really for WooCommerce. WooCommerce is made up of a lot of different modules, and you can go and purchase any of these modules from the WooCommerce platform. Some of them cost nothing, some of them cost quite a bit. We're not going to get into those right now. We're just wanting to get you up and running as soon as we possibly can. The appearance link over here is the themes that WordPress can run on. When I hand over the site to you, you'll have a few of these themes that are the default themes that come with WordPress. And the one that we've got installed here is the storefront theme, which is the one that WooCommerce actually works with. That's their default theme. Don't worry too much about all of this other stuff that we will get into in separate videos. Plugins, these are the different plugins or apps, if you prefer that term, that we would have on WordPress. I have a few apps that are running here. The one is the easy HTTPS redirection. This is so that we have the padlock in your URL. That's that guy up there. And there's a few other things as well. This one here, this just somehow always creeps its way in. It's part of WordPress. When WordPress first started back in the early 2000s, this was the first plugin that was ever written for it. And for some reason, it's just always stayed there. It absolutely does nothing. Okay, that's pretty much all I need to explain there. Users. These are the different people who will be administering or managing your website as you go forward. You can add new users and you can assign different roles to the users. So for instance, if I wanted to add a new user here, give them a name, fill out all of this information, and tell WordPress what kind of role they're going to be playing. Are they the shop manager? Are they a customer? Are they a subscriber? Etc. etc. Administrator is obviously the top dog. So if you give anybody administrator privileges, they will be able to do just about everything that you can. Well, they will be able to do everything that you can with your shop. Okay, there are some other tools in here. These are really not necessary at this point. If you were importing or exporting your website from a different web host or what have you, you'd be able to do that using some of these tools over here. And then there are other settings here as well. We won't worry too much about this stuff for now. But yeah, so that's basically the back end of WordPress in a very short space of time. I would suggest going through, having a look at all these different things, seeing what they do. If you're unsure of anything, just ask me before you go ahead and change it. But basically, there isn't too much that you can do with a lot of the stuff here that's going to mess up the actual functioning of the website. Right, that's it for this video, and in the next one we will take a closer look at some of the more essential items of the WordPress system. Okay, thanks for watching.